So last week, I let all of you know that I had officially switched over from Inventory Lab to Accelerlist. Between this YouTube channel and my Facebook groups, I started to get a lot of different questions about the specifics of why Accelerlist is so awesome. Most of those questions actually pertained to specifics about my exact workflow and how it's better versus Inventory Lab. Even though I've answered most of those questions individually, I'm going to use this video to put it all in one neat package. My name is Manny, and this is Manny's Book Bag. What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. Hope you're all having a great week. I hope that you all had a fantastic Prime Day. I hope it brought some additional business for you, and I hope it helped you get rid of some of that older inventory that those long-term storage fees are going to be targeting. Nothing really new on this side, just shipping like an absolute madman and really boiling down my workflow in Accelerlist to something that I feel is pretty close to optimal for me. After I posted that 4th of July video where I announced that I switched to Accelerlist from Inventory Lab, the questions came flooding in on this channel, on my Facebook groups, and even though I answered those questions as best as I could, I don't think that it would be as detailed as if I actually showed you. So what I would like to do now is actually do a deep dive on what I do when I list. Everything from what I do before I sit down at my computer, how I prepare my inventory, how I organize it for really fast listing, and then everything I do and the order that I do everything in to get myself in and out of that computer. So without any further delay, let's go check out what's on my screen. Alright everybody, here we are. We are at my home page for Accelerlist, and this is the first page that pops up. I am about to create a brand new batch to show you how it is I list. In this video, I'm going to list about 20 CDs. A couple of them are going to be in good condition because they're former library. I have a small stack of them that are going to be in very good condition, and then I have the rest of them that are going to be in like new condition. These CDs were part of a haul, and they are not worthy for Amazon FBA, so they weren't sourcing choices to send in. But they are going to serve as really good examples of, how I get things done. Here's what I've done so far. By the time that I sit in front of my computer to list, I've already prepped the item however it needs to be prepped. If there's any price stickers on there that I deem needed to come off, I've already done so. If they needed to be wiped down because there was debris on them that you could feel or anything like that, all the prep has already been done. Items have already been graded and they've been stacked according to their condition with the barcode facing up. So now that my inventory is all ready to go, I'm ready to go ahead and create a batch. And creating a batch is as simple as hitting new batch up here in the left corner. And I like to name my batches. So this is the 9th batch for the month of July, and that helps me keep track of my productivity month by month and how many shipments I send in. Next, you'll be required to create a custom SKU. And my custom SKUs are very simple. It's always the year, and then the category, followed by the month, followed by the day, and then my average cost for the batch. And that's really all I do. The reason why I came up with this specific SKU is because of ease of search on Amazon Seller Central. If I was in my manage inventory and I wanted to see all of my active inventory that was sent in 2017, all I have to do is type in 2017 and hit enter, and all of my current inventory from this year is going to pop up. By doing it this way, I'm also able to break it down by category. I'm also able to break it down by the month. So if I wanted to look at all my books from January because it was time to manually reprice them, I could put in 2017 book /Jan, and all of my active inventory from January in the book category would come up. So there is a method to my madness, and this really does help me to isolate a lot of my inventory, not only in manage inventory, but also in reprice it. I'm able to make templates specific to category this way. Now, after you've got the custom SKU put together, if you have a team or you have multiple addresses you ship from, or you like to ship from the road, you definitely want to select your shipping address. After that, you have to choose your channel, whether it's fulfilled by Amazon or whether you're going to be fulfilling yourself. Then you've got workflow type. It's currently set to live, and I'm going to keep it on live to show you how a live batch works, but your choices are going to be bulk, private, or live. With the bulk listing, it's very similar to any sort of a bulk editor or a scan lister, where you're just going to scan after scan, but it's not going to actually communicate with Amazon Seller Central until you complete the batch. It's also not going to create the shipments for you as you list, so on a positive side it will be faster, but on the negative side you really don't know where your inventory is going to go until you create the shipment in Seller Central. Private is very similar to live, except that it will not communicate with Seller Central as you go. It will allow you to list them in precision mode, and it will print the labels as you go, but it will not create the shipments for you until the end. This will allow you some flexibility. It'll let you move some things around. It doesn't create the listing. But with live listing, you will be creating the shipments as you go, so everything that's going to one place is very easy to just put in one box. But if it does get split on you, you will know right away and you're able to start a separate box. Live listing will also allow you to either list in precision mode or in speed mode. More about those later. Next, you'll have to choose who labels them. The default is for Amazon to label your stuff for you at a cost of 20 cents per. I switched them to merchant because I use a Dymo printer and I label my own merchandise. You give everything one more look over. Everything looks correct, and I create my batch. Now that the batch is created, we are ready to start listing. And as you can see, July 9, that is the current batch. The batch is in progress. It's going to FBA. I'm labeling my own merchandise, and we are in live mode. So I know that we entered the batch correctly. Now up here you can see which listing process you're using. This currently says precision, and if any of you use Inventory Lab in live mode and you price as you list and you type in the condition notes or select them as you go, then this works the exact same way. Basically, it's the one-touch method. You know, your item, you pick it up, you scan it in, you write the condition note, you price it, and you submit it, and then when you do, you go ahead and remove the label from your Dymo printer, you put the label on there and throw it in the box. This is great for certain items and certain types of inventory. It's also ideal if you don't do a lot of inventory at the same time and you really just want to be done with it when it does ship. But it is actually going to be considerably slower than if I take this and I switch it over to speed. What speed is going to do, and I'll show you here, it's going to set a default price for you. It's going to give your minimums and your maximums, and it's going to make it so that basically all you're doing is just scanning the items in. Now let me show you. All the information that we started with should be here. My SKU prefix is correct. My buy cost is correct. Date purchased is correct. Now you're going to notice my list price is set to a default of $999. Every item that I scan is going to go into the warehouse at that price. The reason why we would set a default price is because we can get our items listed much faster, we can get out from in front of the computer to do other things, and then we can worry about the price later. You can either go back and manually price the items when they do hit the warehouse, or if you have an automated repricer, you can use the waterfall method to set up a couple of templates and let it reprice your items for you. I personally choose to go back and price the items when they go live to the warehouse to give it the best price, but I certainly still see a lot of value in setting that first price myself. So that's how default price works. Next, you have to choose a condition, and the first couple of CDs that I'm going to list are in good condition, and the notes that I have set up, I'm going to go down and I'm going to choose my condition for a former library CD where basically nothing else is wrong. So now my listing presets are in place. One more thing I want to do is I want to come down to my advanced presets. My minimum allowed price is $1. I always set my maximum price at $10,000. This is not actually going to do any repricing or change my pricing. This is for the purposes of not having any listings go deactivated because of pricing error. By putting that in there, this will automatically load those into Amazon Seller Central, and Amazon can leave me alone on those inactive listings. Once I've got that all set, I have everything that I need here to get going. So I can take these listing presets, I can X out. The way that it works now is that I am ready to list. Every single item that I list is going to be listed using those exact presets, right down to the good condition as well. So what I'll do is let me go ahead and click in here and scan the first CD so that you can see what it does. I'm not going to focus on speed right now. I want to show you what it is that comes up and a couple of different ways that you can actually view the information. Now here's the first CD that I listed, and it's called Added Up. It's correct. That's the right CD, and it's already listed. It is in live mode. So right now Amazon has created the shipment. This item is in that shipment and we are listed. Perhaps you heard, but my Dymo printer already printed the label as well. Now a couple of things. If there's something wrong with this and you need to edit it, you can come in here to edit it. If it's the wrong item, you can delete the item there. If you have some questions about your Keepa graphs, you can come in here to Keepa. If you prefer camel, 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 which actually I prefer camel, which is, I know I'm in the minority, but it's how I started. I got used to it. And if for some reason you want to look at the Amazon FBA offers page, you can just click on the A right there and you can do that as well. As you can see, it's got my list price, it's got the quantity, the condition is there, the actual condition note happens to be right there correct with my buy cost and the date of purchase. I also want to show you this over here. The shipment has been created. You're going to notice that this is box number 1 that it is in, and it's a color code. When you're in live mode, if you ever are split by Amazon, if I list another CD and it's going to a different warehouse, you would see a different color here. So it's very quick and very easy to see if you have been split. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and list the others. One more thing I want to show you when I list this one. Now that's already scanned. That's going in. I choose the correct one. And you're going to notice that 3 to 6 second lag there while Accelerlist thinks about it. One thing about that, this is not bulk listing. With bulk listing, you can scan your item and you can just keep going with 0 delay. As I said previously, the reason is because there is 0 communication between the software and Amazon at that point. It'll do all of its communication at the end. But with live listings, since you are creating a shipment and you are constantly adding to that shipment, there is going to be some communication between the two programs, so that's where your 3 to 6 seconds come in. It's also the only reason why I'm not able to list more than 7 to 10 items per minute. What's important to understand is that however way you are comfortable listing, Accelerlist pretty much has your back on all of them. If you want to bulk list, you can bulk list. If you want to do live mode and you want to price and touch as you go and be done with it, you can do it that way. And if you're like myself and you want to work in live mode but you want to work in a faster way, Accelerlist can do that for you too. The last thing that I want to talk about before I go ahead and knock out these CDs is I want to talk about labeling. If you choose to label each item as you go, you can certainly do that. I like to work faster, so I know that consolidating steps is very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and scan these items, but I'm not going to label each one individually. I'm going to let my labels hang off of my Dymo, and when I am finished listing, then I will tear the labels off of the Dymo and I will label everything at the same time. You will want to stay organized and you will want to keep things in the order that you list them, but if you do, there is absolutely no need to hunt and peck. Everything will actually become faster this way. So if you batch all your steps, you'll be done in considerably less time. But now that I've listed the 2 CDs that are in good condition, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to change my condition to very good, because that is the next stack of CDs that I'm going to list. And I'm going to go ahead and select my basic condition note for very good. And once I'm done here, I'm going to be able to just list away. I've got that. I'm verifying the artwork, as you can see right up here. It looks, yep, it's the correct one. And I'm just going to scan away. And I'll just keep on going through my stack until I've listed all of them. Also, one more thing. Everything that I just showed you about setting up the actual shipment and getting ready to list, that takes a matter of seconds, really. I just wanted to take my time and really show you exactly what I do. And that right there was all the very good ones. Switch to like new. And change my note to my like new condition. And just keep on going. Just get them done. This Metamorphosis CD is probably the duddiest dud of the bunch. You see that CD everywhere and you don't even scan it. But you see how easy this is. Once you get through these, I mean, you're literally scanning 8 to 10 per minute. In 15 minutes time, I could easily, I could be done with 80 to 100 CDs. It definitely gets your work done much, much faster. There you go. And then ultimately, one of the things that I really enjoy about Accelerlist, like obviously I've got a great collaborative relationship with Travis, and they are basically the folks behind this. What I want to say about that is that it's actually extremely valuable when you've got members of the community that are sellers and creating these tools for sellers. But I'm not sure if you've noticed, I've already set up all of my CDs for this batch. There were 19 CDs. They're all listed. And one of the things that I want you to see on the very bottom here is that all 19 CDs are going to one warehouse, and I'm currently on box number 1. Now, let's say, for example, this CD, this Harry James CD, let's say that the first 18 were going in box number 1, and this CD was going to be the beginning of box number 2. Now, there is a way for you to very easily change the box of the item right here. And this is editing box contents. The only thing that you need to do is add a box. So now your current box is box number 2. You'll see by that green box up there that Amazon has already been notified of it. Box number 2 is already open, and all you have to do is change this right here. Quantity shipped for the Harry James CD in box number 1, just change it to 0, and in box number 2, change it to 1. Okay, once you've done that, when you go ahead and close, you're going to notice that this Harry James CD is now in box number 2. What's beautiful about Accelerlist is that once you do this, you don't have to go back. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to assign item by item to a specific box. This has the best solution for box content information, which in and of itself is going to make you even faster because it's doing it and setting them up by box as I go. There's absolutely no need to go back, change anything. So for me, this is actually one of the best reasons to use Accelerlist, is as they came up with an ideal solution for box contents. And then once I'm finished, whenever I am done scanning everything in and I'm comfortable with where everything is at, I just come up here and complete the batch. It's really just that simple, folks. Listing does not have to be difficult. You can actually make your tools work for you instead of you working for your tools. Tools are one of the easiest ways to buy your time back and be able to do more with less. So that's really it. I hope this little walkthrough was helpful for you, and I hope that, if nothing else, you got a couple of really good tips as far as how to really speed up your process. And that's really about it. Nothing really to it, nothing special. But here's the question of the day. Which listing software do you use? Are you happy with it? And if you're not happy with your listing software, what is it about your listing software that you feel needs to be improved? Go ahead and put your comments down below. We're all using different tools, and it never hurts to compare notes. I hope that video was easy to follow. I hope it answered your questions. If not, go ahead and leave your questions down below. I'm going to go ahead and respond to them there. But that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see me make more videos like this one, please remember to share, like, and subscribe. It really supports the channel. If you haven't liked this video yet, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and tap on that book bag. While you're in there, tap on those bell notifications. It lets you know when new videos drop so that you don't miss anything. Till next time, let's go make some money.